Alright guys, hello and welcome back to the next episode of our, I was about to say Madden, F1 Manager 24 Career Mode Season 4 in 2027. Last time out we finished in Jeddah, scoring points with Alonso getting that podium win and actually finishing out pretty good so far, as we're episode 3 of the season of 8, and we are in debt again. Trying to get parts made for the car, but I still haven't decided on what we wanted to do yet. The plan was to do Imola manually and simulate Suzuka and Abu Dhabi. That way we have more parts coming in. We have research going as well. I believe the ATR period's about to end too. Well, we have the sponsor plan's going to come through, so we might have a little bit of money coming in, and then research. Yeah, we just had a ATR period start in the previous week. I don't believe I did any R&D or quite yet, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look. And like I said, we're gonna see you guys for the results for Abu Dhabi and Suzuka, and we'll have Imola sprint race for this episode. So we'll see you guys for the results of Abu Dhabi. All right, here we are for the results of Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris for those positions. Liam Lawson getting 7. Fernando Alonso getting P8, getting P8 from P10. And then Frederick Vesti down 2 laps. So Vesti is not having a great race, but Alonso definitely is. And I did a little bit of research. We have both of our, well, Vesti we have for the end of the season, but Alonso we have for the next 2 seasons. So whether or not we keep Vesti, we'll have to wait and see. So we got P6 right now for the fastest pit stop. We got 8 and 9, total of 6 points there. A little bit of extra cash we do enjoy. 2.086 for Alonso, and he did reach our race target. He didn't get our contract bonus for him, so we're only having to pay, we're only getting 223 out of that because Vesti's finish. Feeling a little bit better. I had to manufacture a few extra parts just to have as reserves, but nothing too severe as we go through here and replace what we do have. This is the reason why I was going for extra parts. We don't have any more of the front wing, so we're gonna have to make more of the front wing too. Okay, I don't know why you're not. We'll go back through there and figure that out. But yeah, we'll figure that out, and then we'll see you guys for the results of Suzuka. All right, here we are for the results of Suzuka. Max Verstappen, back-to-back wins. Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri for our top 3. Vesti and Fernando both losing 2 positions, so they started within the top 5 of that. Vesti moving up to P10 in the driver standings with 16 points with Carlos Sainz. Then Fernando Alonso starting to close in on Esteban Ocon, 45 points to his 81. And then the constructors were still sitting at P5, trying to close in on Aston Martin. That's basically where we left off, was behind Aston Martin. So we need to make some ground on them. Pit stops, we didn't get any on the top 10. We lose 1 position. 2.339 was our fastest stop of the run. We get our race targets, but we didn't get our contract bonuses. Other than Vesti, we only lose out on 136k. That's good for us, as we are making good ground so far this season compared to the last few. Chassis research for the next season. That is also always good. Paddle Awards rating has also gone back up. 883k in the positive, so we're still in the positive. I did scout Lewis because I wasn't sure if I wanted to have him on a team. and we'll keep that on the bench, pretty much. Control up to 90. All right. So we have some responses. Wind tunnel data concern, shut down. Might as well. It's not going to help with our car parts. Race review. All right, we have 11 days till Imola. Trying to get parts in, but we'll have to wait and see. We have some parts to replace. See you guys for qualifying here in Italy.
Welcome along to Italy, and welcome along to Imola. After returning to the Formula One calendar in 2020, Imola is now home to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. This historic track's original outline might remain, but updates to the circuit ensure that racing here feels just as exciting in modern times. Not many would envy the job of a team principal in a situation like this. A strong result is imperative here to win back the confidence of the board. Let's see what the weekend has in store. And we're raring to get going.
All right, a little bit of a shortcut there. I forgot it was a sprint weekend. We didn't get our setups to 100%. Let's go ahead and get rid of the calculator there on our second monitor. Results, hard tires, P4, P6, and then, yeah, they're still untested, but I feel like we're pretty close. I know Vesti's was in the 90s. I don't know about Alonso's. 85 was his. And 95 was theirs, but we'll see if they are going to be optimal. I know Fernando wasn't feeling too great with his, especially on the cornering. I don't know if I want to go. I don't know. I don't feel really good about that. I feel better with that, but we'll revert it back to what it was. I think it was 7.5, 10. We'll leave it back to that and go from there. Alonso is a good driver, so we will be able to run that pretty good. So mediums for this first session. See you guys at the end of it to see if we get into sprint quality 2. All right, no music for some reason. I don't know why. We have Alonso coming through. He's P7 currently. 120 left in the qualifying session. No improvement on sector 2. Improvement on sector 3. Good enough to get up to P4. Vesti currently sitting in pole position. We did.
Nice job on that lap.
I think we got one part, maybe. Okay, I don't know. One new part on the car. I'm not quite sure. We had to spend a lot of money on parts to be able to have parts for this race. The current parts and not the old ones. So.
Okay, that's currently.
Vesti P1, Alonso P4. That's good to get us into SQ2. So we'll see you guys at the end of SQ2, see if we can get it SQ3. Alright, yeah, it's pretty weird without the music going through fast forwarding. Alonso currently sitting in P1, purple sector 2, toe behind the Audi. I don't know if that'll be an improvement or not. I didn't see if it was a personal best. Vesti currently sitting P3, so we'll see if he improves. Not an improvement in sector 2. That's going to be personal improvement for Vesti, so that's P1, P2 into the sprint shootout for our drivers. So we'll see you guys in the next session. All right, here we are coming through sector 3, this downhill section. Alonso currently P8, Vesti currently P2. The end of, well, checkered flag for sprint quality 3. Purple sector 2 for Alonso. See where he moves up to. 1:11.6 is the pole position. That's 1:11.613, 400ths of a second faster than Leclerc. And then Vesti will be the last to cross the line here in the sprint shootout. Norris bumping Vesti down, Leclerc P2, Norris P3. There's Ocon and Vesti, so it's going to be front row lockout for the sprint race here in Imola. And I checked, we only have 3 parts. We only have 3 car parts on our car from last episode. So that definitely favors on this track. So let's get to the sprint race.
Well, it's a different format this weekend, with a sprint set to spice up today's events.
And of course, the big incentive here is getting a few extra points on the board, with the top finishers in the sprint set to add to their championship tally.
The drivers here at Imola, ready to get the sprint underway. And it's lights out.
All right, front row start for the first sprint we've had in a while. We shorted them 1 lap of fuel, but we are running standard, so we should be able to make it to the end of the race and recover that extra bit of fuel that we took out. Yellow flag right away. It's going to be Sonoda in the back. Okay, ran wide. Alonso P3, Vesti P1. Norris on soft tires. Van Dorn with an engine issue. Piastri's trying to make a move on Alonso. Vesti still just under 2/10 ahead. That's Vesti right there. That's going to be Vesti there. Leclerc, Alonso. DRS is active this lap. We won't get it till the end of this lap. Leclerc looking to make a move on the inside. Not quite there yet. Alonso falling back a little bit.
So Piastri's right behind you.
And if you guys haven't noticed, the Bridgestone logo on the rear wing, it has it's clipped on the bottom part, but that's just how the layering works on the livery. I figured I might as well just leave it and not fight it. Okay. Alonso putting pressure on Leclerc now. See how we do on this lap of DRS on to lap 3. We'll go back over to Alonso for this. Alonso has the outside. All right. No. Leclerc has the speed on that one. Lawson with a mechanical fault. Alright, DRS not doing anything for us this time around. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and simulate to about the halfway mark, so lap 11 or so. See you guys in a second.
Be careful there.
Right, yellow flag, crash.
So let's take a look at the replay.
I'm thinking it's gonna be a
Here we
safety
are
car.
then,
Logan
into
Sargent
turn
in the Red
13.
Bull.
Tries to get by. And oh, that's obviously far from intentional.
Porsche tried to make a move on the
but
inside.
there was contact. An unfortunate moment, yes, but as any driver will know, this is an unforgiving sport.
That's not gonna end well for them. Alright, lap 8 of 21. Gasly, Sargent, Sonoda in the backfield. Van Dorn Sargent, engine issue. Lawson, engine issue. We're running pretty good. We'll go ahead and hit conserve on our fuel. Not really going down that much, but we are going neutral on our fuel.
Copy.
And it's going to be a fight between Alonso and Leclerc pretty much the whole time.
Yuki got the penalty.
Yep. Yuki Tsunoda with that penalty on Sargent. All right. All right, we'll see you guys towards the end of the race. See if we played this card right with the fuel. Right, another yellow flag. Let's see what happened here. Two yellow flags in the sprint race. Yuma and Wassa in the Mercedes this time with the Andretti Cadillac on the inside. Cadillac maybe getting a penalty there.
As for the team back in the garage, that was a tough moment to watch.
Lap 14 and 21. We're back on track for fuel. In just a matter of fighting. So, we'll see. See you guys in a second towards the end of the race.
Remember, long way to go in this race.
3 laps to go as Alonso is defending against Leclerc on the outside. And Norris is right there with him. So Alonso fighting to stay on this podium at this point. Vesti 4.7 seconds ahead. Just cruising his way to victory. As of right now. But we'll see. Alright, we'll go to the last lap. Alright, the final lap has started. Vesti 5.4 ahead. I don't know what's going on with his battery.
Might need to pick up the pace a little
Alonso
bit.
doesn't have any battery. What's going on here? There it is. Come on, dude. P4. Come on, dude.
Tires are quite hot.
Copy.
Come on, man.
Let's have mode push.
Okay.
Get you back on the podium here.
Charge
Oh, okay,
on.
never mind.
Copy.
Mode push.
Okay.
Come on, now's your chance. Now's your chance.
We need to reduce K1 usage.
Copy.
I don't think he's gonna get it. Vesti wins the race.
Amazing race.
First race win of the season for Vesti. Nice. All right.
The team will surely be delighted with that performance.
We have shown up to the grid.
What an outcome. They can go into the race full of confidence now.
All right, now we have long term to think about. First and fourth in the sprint race. Nice job. All right.
And what a fantastic sprint win that is.
And what a well-deserved P1 finish that was. Absolutely outstanding.
It's the usual story, so P2 to P1, and then a pause before P0, please.
That was weird. I didn't skip anything there. Right, Vesti finishing out in P1 at the start of P1. Alonso losing 2 positions. Oscar Piastri 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total points for us in that race.
Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
Qualifying at Imola can be a pretty red flag strewn affair. Teams need to prioritize getting a banker lap in, rather than risk leaving it too late and having to settle for a subpar time.
Here's Fernando Alonso. Big question. How have things been for him heading into this qualifying session?
Well, they're certainly delivering better results than their teammates. and they'll be expected to keep that up for the rest of the weekend.
So here we are, ready to resume.
Right, qualifying it is. Same thing as before. I feel like we do better in the rain. But the 85% car setup is not helping Alonso. So our main focus is going to be Alonso pretty much. And get him into Q2, maybe Q3, we'll see. See what the rain looks like here. It's going to let up. So we might just wait it out. Drip normal. We might just end up waiting it out. Yeah, we're gonna wait it out and see what happens. Alright, here we are for the end of the session. Everybody's out after the rain cleared. Vesti P12, Alonso P9 right now. Purple sector 2 for Vesti, who's next across the line. That's gonna be improvement for P1, 2/10 above Verstappen. Piastri still right there. Alonso, 0.08 of a second between Vesti. We did run old soft tires from sprint quali, and that got us in those positions.
P2.
But that's gonna be us into Q2, so we'll see you guys there.
At one point you tell me we are...
All right, we do have the music in this qualifying session though. Vesti P2, Alonso P4, improvement sector 1 for Alonso. Gonna wait and see what we have for Vesti on sector 2. No improvement for him, and that's no improvement for Vesti, so we're gonna call Vesti in.
P4. That was a good lap, that last
Well,
one.
he's on his... Yeah,
Mode in,
we're gonna go ahead and call him
boxes
in
lap.
because he had 2 yellow sectors. And that's gonna be no improvement for Vesti, so...
Understood.
We are into Q3. We will see you guys, well, as of right now, we are into Q3. So we'll see you guys in the next session. Right, yellow flag, 2 minutes to go. Vesti ran wide in turn 3. That's not good. He's on a flying lap too. So we'll go ahead and call Vesti in. As Alonso makes an improvement, sector 2 in the rain. See where he ends up. I don't think there's going to be
P5.
any improvement, but there was
Yeah,
personal improvement there in sector 3. So P4, P5 so far. Let's go and sim forward, see what happens with the other drivers. McLaren's coming in. Everybody's coming in, so it looks like that's going to be our order, depending on Hamilton. If Hamilton can make an improvement, we'll see, or if they go in. And they're coming in. So there's our order for the future race. Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, as well as Vesti, Alonso, Logan Sargent, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, and Sergio Perez, and then Lewis Hamilton to round out the top 10. So, second and third lane, we're looking forward to it.
Not long until we get going here in Italy, with 63 laps of hard-fought motor racing.
Imola can really reward consistency, as Nigel Mansell showed here in 1992 when he became the first driver to ever win the opening 5 Grand Prix of a season.
Imola has no fewer than 4 chicanes, with the Variantes putting a slow-speed corner into every sector around this historic circuit. It's a high downforce track with sharp turns breaking up the straights. Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day. Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. Well, they certainly appear calm and composed heading into this race.
What a day for them, starting on the 2nd row. Holding on to 4th will be a challenge in the race, though.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this.
All right, here we are for the feature race. Starting in the second and third row.
And away we go.
Said to be a little bit of rain ahead towards the end of the race, but I think that's just because of our weather being worn out, but everybody else is going on hards, so we'll see if we made a good call or not, because that rain is supposed to be here about lap 50. This is what it's showing for us, but it could be wrong. Weather Center level 3. Forecast accuracy 27%, so yeah, that's gonna be bad if we made the wrong call here. Refurbish our buildings because we've been focusing on upgrading our parts. Everybody else is on hards, so we'll see what happens. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and sim forward since we're basically playing it till the weather comes in. Alright, lap 13. Nothing else has happened right now. The weather hasn't really gone down, so I don't know if people are running their hard tire. It doesn't look like they're running their hard tires. Pretty rough.
Just do your best.
We're already down halfway through our fuel, so we'll drop them to balanced. Vesty is 4.8 ahead on those soft tires. Alonso's having trouble on these mediums to get ahead, but we'll see. We'll drop down to light for Vesty, see how that pace looks, and go from there. So we'll see what happens with this weather. 26.5 degrees Celsius, and yeah, that weather seems to be creeping in, so we'll probably hit it about 35, 40 maybe.
What about tires?
So we'll go from there and see what happens. We're at lap 23. It's time for Vesty to come into the pits, and the weather looks like it's gonna be coming in around lap 30 maybe. The weather hasn't really, temperature's been going up, it hasn't been going down, so I don't know what's going on here, but we are taking the risk. Our tires are overlapping there. Our turn on to fresh hard tires. Alonso's coming in on lap 28, and we'll see what everybody else is going on to for their tires. But the temperature still hasn't seemed to go down, but we'll give it a minute. We'll give it 5 or 10 laps or so, or until Alonso's pit stop, so see you guys for that. We're at lap 28. Alonso's coming in for his pit stop, and we just got the message about rain in 10 minutes.
Copy.
So we are going to be at a disadvantage. Extra pit stop. Yeah. That's going to hurt. It's really going to hurt us. Now we're going to fight to get back into the points. 2.140.
Just watch out for traffic at the pit. You got it.
We are the first pit stop, so there's no comparison really, as our guys are basically back where they started at the beginning of the season, but that is fine. We're gonna make sure to refurbish that weather center after this race, so since they are gonna be 10 minutes away, we're gonna go ahead and push our tires and push our battery and go from there.
5 laps to go
So
at the end of this one.
we'll see you guys when the rain comes.
Okay, you can pick up the pace.
No more lift and coast.
Right, yellow flag, sector 2.
Yellow flag.
Perez.
Copy.
Spin on turn 12. That is a fast section of the track. into the gravel. We gained a few positions in the rain. I just watched, okay. We gained a few positions in the rain on these new hard tires. It's just a matter of us coming into the pits at the right moment. But we are pushing these hard tires to try to make up for that. Alright. Alright. Go ahead and sim forward a few laps.
Currently P11.
Alright, lap 35 is 63. Drivers are going to start coming into the pits to intermediates.
Okay, good job. Okay, so Sainz ahead is on.
We have Vesti ahead. We're going to go ahead and pit Alonso. See if he's gaining ground. Yeah, Vesti's still gaining ground on Sainz. I don't know how far back they are from each other. 28, 24. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna double stack them. This is a risky play.
Box.
We're gonna double stack and risk it.
We need to go to Inter.
Get those tyres temperatures down.
Copy.
We'll conserve a lot.
Get your tyre temps down.
Copy.
Alright. Here's our chance.
I'm entering the pit.
Let's hope we didn't fuck it up.
Box.
Come on. Vesti in the pit. Intermediates on. Nice. 2.29, 2.34. Good. Good shit. Good shit. We are back in this fight. We are back in this race.
So currently P8. In front of you is Ocon.
Alright.
Hamilton behind you now.
And we have extra battery to use. Alright, we are back in this fight for the race to get some points. Our fuel is fine.
Mode to push, please.
Copy.
We're gonna go ahead and sim forward towards the end, see if we can finish this race on the inners or not. We'll see. Alright, about 15 laps to go. We're back where we pretty much started. Vesti P6, Alonso P7. 9.3 is the gap between Vesti and Sargent. The field is pretty much spread out. Hauger up there in P22 and Piastri's up there. So Hauger is lapped. He's the only one lapped right now. So, we're in good standing right now. Pushing a little bit of fuel. Our tires are overheating, but we're not doing anything too severe. We'll bump up on our battery.
Push.
What happened with... oh, he's on the main start. Vesti's ERS is not showing again.
Overtake available.
So I know it wasn't showing for... okay, there it is.
Battery is on the low side.
Alright, we'll see if we can catch up to these guys. We'll hopefully get one of our guys on the podium. We'll have to wait and see. Because it seems like the rain will die down again, but we'll have to wait and see until that happens. So, see you guys in a moment. Alright, lap 60 of 63, 4 laps to go. No more rain, but we're still in damp weather. We're attacking on our pace to try to get ahead of Sargent. We're 2.2 behind P5. McLaren front row lockout. Well, P1, P2 double podium. Leclerc, Verstappen, P3, P4. As we are on the hunt for Logan Sargent. 19-second gap between Sargent and Verstappen.
Update on tires when you can, please.
And that rain will die down a little bit. We are still over the 1 meter damp. Alright. We'll see how it goes here. 3 laps to go. As we are chasing down Logan Sargent. See you guys on the final lap.
3 more laps, 3 more laps.
Copy.
Alright, about halfway through with the final lap. Piastri almost done with their lap. Vessi 1.2 behind a Sargent. We're pushing as much as we can right now. We're not going to get the move on a Sargent with both drivers, but we could possibly get it with Vessi. Right here.
1.3 ahead. Keep the head down. Overtake available.
Okay, copy.
Alright, yeah.
Piastri has done it.
Piastri
He's
wins
got
the feature
win.
race in Imola. We chase down Sargent through these final few corners. And it is not going to be enough.
And keep an eye on your battery.
P6, P7 for our drivers here in the feature race.
Okay, we take the flag.
And a very good recovery on our part.
P6.
Even though the faulty weather report.
Anyway, good job, guys.
Really nice. And make sure we switch off the car completely when you stop. Please go to P0.
Alright.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
Finish out the rest of this race.
And that's another race done for Fernando Alonso.
7th place at the end of that one, and some points for the team.
The man from down under, Oscar Piastri, heads up to our podium.
The 3rd win of the season has to leave them and the team feeling confident.
Well, Formula One certainly feels at home in Italy, and it looks like those 3 feel right at home too. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And that's about it for our time here in Imola.
Next round, we're moving on to an exhilarating circuit. Formula One will be taking to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Alright, here we have it. Results from Vesti and Alonso within the top 10. Another good, decent amount of points. Vesti up into P9, Fernando Alonso P7. And that gives us 27 points for the weekend. Still holding on to P5, closing in on Aston Martin Honda for that goal of P4. As McLaren really looking strong against Ferrari and Red Bull. P8 for Fernando Alonso, 2.139 for 4 points. Still holding on to P7. All right. Let's see. Vesti gets his target. Alonso doesn't. 759k. Looking pretty good. Performance rating, Mike Slade. All right. And we are still in the negative. In debt, yes, we know. Car parts to replace. Rear wing. All right, the next episode is going to be in Budapest, Monte Carlo, and China. We're going to do Monaco. Hopefully we'll have some parts ready by then, but we'll have to wait and see. Monaco, let's see, how many days till Monaco? How many days till Monaco? 18 days. We might not get any new parts in, but we're gonna try. So Budapest looking promising for us. We're still trying to improve on our DRS in dirty air, but that's definitely not causing us any issues, especially on our cornering. But show must go on, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.